This is going to be a really good film, and I hope that it's educational for you as it is for me. Hey Ryan, how are you, man?
Hey, good. How you doing?
Good to meet you, brother.
Nice to meet you.
Absolutely, man. Let's talk about Blaze out here. You know, one thing that we really like doing is spotlighting, like I said, our first responder community and how they're making an impact in the community through their businesses. Tell me what we're doing here.
Okay, so before we get to any stop, any job site, whether we're doing interior, exterior, if we're doing interior, we'll take this guy right here. This is a hand can. These things are great. That we use them on all the interior sprays. And then when we move to the outside, we have multiple different things we use outside. This is our backpack sprayer. We use this on the exterior. And then when we actually go through and I show you some of the exterior stuff we do, you'll be able to see this stuff in action. We do a thing called a web walk around at every stop to make sure we walk around, make sure there's no webs, make sure there's no wasp nests, nothing like that. But those are just kind of the things you do to kind of start at each stop. You kind of start that stuff, and then you finish with the outside stuff. But we can go inside, and I can kind of show you what we do when we do interior treatments. And there's just like multiple things that you can do, but there's a very baseline of what we do on almost every stop.
It was great. Let's go do this to see what's this all about.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Walking around here, like, has anybody actually followed their pest control guy? Has anybody really seen the pest control guy and what they do? I haven't.
We kind of treat it like how we would search a house. Whatever door we start at that door jamb. We make our way all the way around the whole structure back to that door jamb, opening up all the doors we come to unless they're locked, or if somebody tells us not to use that door or go in that door. But that way we don't miss anything and we get complete coverage of whatever we're doing. And so that just I can kind of show you how we do it and go from there.
Now, why just the floor?
Well, you don't want to spray up high, and if you keep it at the floor level, that's where the bugs mostly are.
Okay.
If we do have to treat something up, it's going to be very precise and very quick, because I don't want anything floating down on anything. But most generally on the inside, you don't have to do that.
Okay. So you're going to go through this entire building, spraying the outline of this building.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
And that's one thing that we try to let our customers know, that it is a chemical and people worry about it, but it's heavier than air. So once it leaves this, it stays right there. It doesn't come back up. It doesn't, unless you're over there like touching it when it's wet. That's really the only way you can get it on you.
Okay.
And so that just doesn't happen. Right. Pets don't mess with it. Pets don't have anything to do with it. So it's very safe.
So it's really good, and it's okay if you're little snoozers walking around here and having a good time.
Yeah, this customer, it's kind of funny. The husband and wife that run this doctor's office, how I found them was she was volunteering or doing something at one of the fire stations.
I was okay.
And she realized that I had a pest control company, and man, I bet you we've been working together now for 17 years.
And when and where did you start this? Did you start it here in Edmond? Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So back in 2007, I started this, and this was actually me and another guy.
Okay.
We were never together. We had our own business licenses and stuff, but he was like Blaze Pest Control South. I was North, and I just ended up really liking it, and I just wanted to grow it and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
How it kind of started is I worked for another pest control company on my days off, which ever since I was 19 years old working for the fire department, I've worked on my days off.
Right.
And I mean, I've had every kind of job you can think of on my days off. One of the funniest jobs I've had, I sold ladies' shoes at Dillard's, Okay. So when I say I've done it, I was like, you done early days, or I think I was 20 years old. Wow. Yeah, I was 20.
I'm sure. How'd the ladies take that when you were selling them shoes?
It was fun. That was fun. I might have mentioned the fireman thing to sell a shoe or two, but
that does help.
So I started this back in 2007, and
And it really was kind of a side hustle per se, you know, because a lot of people would be like,
Oh, that's just kind of what you do on your days off.
sure. And that's what it started out as.
Okay.
And I did that for a long time, and I just kind of, I didn't really try to grow the business. I wasn't not trying to grow the business, but I wasn't like, I was just working, you know, and as new people would come in, that's great. Didn't advertise, didn't do any social media stuff. And then about 5 years ago, I went to this investment conference with my father-in-law as a guest. And I was sitting there with, I mean, guys that had 5, 10, 15, $20 million. And I was sitting at that table and I was like, why can't I sit at this table? Why can't I do something big and help other people do something big in their lives, you know? So, man, just from that weekend, my brain flipped the switch and I started like, okay, I'm gonna pound social media. I'm gonna like start growing this. I'm gonna get employees. I'm gonna do all these things, and it's just started happening for us. So
From that timeline or that meeting or that conference that you're at, did you find someone that kind of helped you? Because that's a scaling piece, right?
So my father-in-law was the first person I'd ever been around that, to me, like from where I came from, which was way low, way, you know, very.
on the economic side.
Yes, my mom raised me and my 3 sisters by herself when, you know, for our whole childhood life. And so fire department was as good as it got for me. I thought I was doing it. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but I always kind of wanted more.
Right.
And so, yeah, my father-in-law kind of opened my eyes. I'd never been around somebody like that.
So yours is more strategic.
Yes, yeah, yes.
So you've chosen not to kind of go up in the ranks because you believe that would take time away from the business side of the house, right? So,
and I kind of felt like too, like, you know, say I was officer or something. I mean, I don't want to spend time doing my business stuff, you know, like as a firefighter, I feel like you're kind of behind the scenes, back in the back, you know, kind of things.
yeah.
It's not really that way, but it just in my mind, that was kind of as part of the strategic of it. So
Yeah.
but man, those guys that promote and go up for the fire department, man, that's great. They work their butts off.
Sure.
They study and they do all that stuff. So
And everybody's got their lane. But
and I just really, once I started the business, and I really, really liked it.
so what is it? You say you like it. What is kind of the biggest thing that jumps out to you that you like about it the most?
So the creation, the growth of the business, I really like. But one thing I've really, really come to like is, I mean, I have employees that count on me to help their families. So that's really important to me. And my employees, my technicians in my office, they're like super important to me. And I take great pride in trying to help them make their lives better. So that's something that I didn't really think about early on, but now I'm like, man, they depend on me to do my job right. And I like that. I don't know if it's pressure, but I just like helping people, you know, and I feel like that's just a great way to be able to do it.
You know, when we leave our service, it's really hard for us to kind of find our next purpose. And when we align with something that's mostly not service oriented, how much are we going to actually stay in it?
I feel like pest control aligns very well with the fire department because you're basically doing the same things.
Yeah.
You're there to help someone, take care of a problem, and you're there to give them peace of mind.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you do as a firefighter, is those 3 things.
Well, they don't want the little critters around in their house or their business. You know what I mean? I can attest. My wife talks to me about that all the time. Don't you? Yes, you do. So talk to me about the name. I assume Blaze is because of the firefighter side. As you can see, he's got the red line. And if you don't know anything about the first responder community, you know, the thin red line, the thin blue line, the thin yellow line, the thin white line, you know, those are all attributed to various different first responder lanes. You know what I mean? So the fire department obviously is the red line. So tell me about Blaze. Where did that come from?
So it's kind of funny, you know, the name goes back to my buddy Chad, which is also a firefighter. Yeah. We were sitting around the station. We were trying to we were just like, what would be a good name? What would be a good name? And he was sitting there and he said, what about Blaze? And I was like, well, that's got a nice ring to it. Nice and easy. It goes hand in hand with what we're doing. Every great once in a while, someone might confuse us with a medical dispensary, but
How many clients do you have right now? Or, you know, since you started in 2007.
well, in 2007, I started with water.
Right, exactly. But now what are you at right now?
I think currently, I don't know like the exact number right now, but I think we're at around 1,100 something service customers. So then my wife does the behind the scenes things that I don't want to do. And that's what dances and she does all that stuff, and I just have a piece of paper and she says sign it.
Yeah. So as you saw probably in Gladiator Designs, you know, these first responder businesses are not just the actual first responder, which they're the heads, don't get me wrong, but you have an actual family entity that is actually supporting them too in the same process. So just like, you know, with Gladiator, her husband supporting her, whether it's through equipment, etc. His wife does the same thing through, like you said, taxes, administrative work, etc. So, you know, when these first responder entities are coming together or businesses are coming together, it's a family unit in that. So, and then to have other firefighters on board with you, that's just, you know,
it makes Christmas parties a lot easier.
I was gonna say, I'm just wondering if you guys are for Christmas parties. I mean, is the cooking pretty good? I mean, you guys got to be good cooks.
So yeah, I'm not a good cook. I'm a really good eater and a good cleaner, though.
Man, I tell you, I was gonna ask you, what makes you, now that you say that, you know, kind of going into 26 and then obviously 27, 28, what makes you guys different than any other pest control company?
Well, for one, just hiring firefighters to work for me.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm getting such a foundation of the fire department already. You know, I'm getting guys that I know at least are customer service. You know, they want to help people. So I get that foundation, but then I get to bring them on board. So we do all kinds of different little things.
And yeah, one thing I find about your guys' culture is you guys are very much a Swiss Army knife.
Yes.
Like you guys can do a whole lot. You might just arrive for that certain reason, but then you kind of peer around, you're looking around and you're like, hey, that's an issue. So you're basically taking that skill set as a firefighter and you're putting into your pest control.
I don't say no.
Exactly right. Yeah. So that's another thing that, you know, that we really want to highlight is they are able to take that skill set that they're learning in the fire department, and I know that we learned in the police department too, and now able to put it into the private sector to where it's not just singular.
Yeah.
You're able to look at other issues and be able to figure out how can we solve this other issue that while we're there, we might be able to help them out in whatever that situation is.
Yeah, in the first responder world, I mean, you have to be a problem solver in a really short amount of time.
Exactly.
So you get pretty good at problem solving and quick increments, and your brain kind of like, okay, what can I do? What can I do?
Absolutely. What do you want to scale your technicians to? Are you satisfied with the place that you're at?
Oh no, absolutely not. My wife thinks I'm crazy, but I want to have 100 of these things driving around.
Okay.
That's that, and for me, that's not even like the end.
Come to this side.
One thing that this is just something I've kind of thought about in my head. If I ever get to a place that I can do it, and this would go hand in hand with what you're doing, is I would love to get to a point where I could help firefighters or police officers open a pest control company in their area and come in and help them, you know, hey, this is what you need to do. This is how you do it. You know, that's something I'd really like to do. Obviously not in the Oklahoma City area, but like, you know, outside areas, different states,
being an ambassador.
Yeah, some sort. Yeah. Help them get going. I don't know if that's like a franchise thing or a percentage thing. I don't know how all that would work, but that's just something that I've kind of thought about, and I would love to get to the point where I could help guys do stuff like that.
Yeah, because one thing that we don't know about when we come in. So, for instance, I remember when I came into the private sector, when somebody would say, "Hey, Jeff, throw me a calendar invite." Ryan, did you know how to throw a calendar invite out? No, we don't know how to do that stuff, right? Hey, send me an invoice. What is that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we knew our line of work, but we didn't know all this other language that's out there and all these other things out there. So to go what you're talking about, if other firefighters do want to get in that line of work, to be that ambassador, would be able to kind of clear that mud that we just talked about.
Because
be able to
it's
define.
scary.
It is.
And not scary like, oh, I'm scared. It's just a daunting task to think to go from I've only known this to like I really want to do something else. But man, fear is a big factor in why people don't ever go up.
I've articulated it this way, especially to those that are on the corporate side. I say, all right, you C-suite individuals or any of those that are working in the private sector. You're done. 25 years. Now you gotta go put a uniform on.
Yeah.
And the kind of the reaction I get is like, huh? What? Right? And I said, so what literally did you just feel right then? And they're like, I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. And I said, now that's exactly what we go through. Like when we are taking that uniform off, we go from a uniform and a role or an identity and role that has unfortunately sometimes merged itself together, right? So we've got to kind of figure out that, that was our role. It wasn't our identity, but now we've got to go into a new role. It's daunting, like you just said, and so if we had ambassadors, if we had people like that, like you, to be able to go out there and help those, that'd be great. So tell us how we can get a hold of you, your websites, your socials, all the rest of it.
So, I mean, pretty easy. You go online, you put Blaze Pest Control in, you're going to find us. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I'm really going to start focusing over the next months trying to get my YouTube channel going. I've never really focused on that as much, but I realize I need to.
Yeah.
And then obviously Google. I mean, you click in any of the sites and you put in Blaze Pest Control, you're gonna find us. So, but man, this has been great.
That's awesome. Well, Ryan, thank you very much for the time, brother.
I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you giving us our time here. You know what I mean? And listen, good luck to you. I'm interested to see what you're going to go in the next 3 years and then even beyond that, right? So when you take that uniform off and you go and you level this thing up and you bring more underneath you, so direct reports, and really go out there and be able to facilitate your company, man, this is going to be just great. And I can't tell you enough on if you're watching this to make sure that you give Ryan and his group of guys your support. Look them up, utilize them. I know I'm probably going to be calling you.
Heck yeah.
You know what I mean? And look at you. So listen, thank you guys so much. We're Lights to Legacy. We'll be focused on those that have turned on the lights and they're trying to create a legacy after they get done with their uniform. Ryan, you're on your way, brother, and I really appreciate you very much. Again, thank you, man.
Thank you.
Absolutely.